overview of the week's markets at 8:30 in the morning, all on WHOW, AM, FM, and streamed online.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It is brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today, Stephanie Coonce, is the Executive Director of Encore Developmental Services. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, Seth.
Good to see you as always. Thanks for making time for us.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Well, what's the latest? I know Encore continues to seek approval from the State Fire Marshal's office for your building and, bringing it into compliance. What's the latest?
Right. The latest is we're collecting bids. So we have approval for our plans from the architect. Really appreciate AEX for that. And they've done a great job of working with us. So now I am just looking for contractors who will come in and look at our project and help us phase it out and then give me numbers so that I can continue to raise the money and get that built.
So what specifically are you putting out for bid right now? What is the project at hand?
Right now, we are working on, we have two firewalls that they want built eventually. But the back firewall towards the back of the warehouse where we have our maintenance stuff for the landscaping business, for the flowers, for the baler that has to be moved from the front of the warehouse to the back of the warehouse, and all of the bale things, the real high fire potential things that needs to be walled off first, and then that will create that maintenance danger separation from the rest of the warehouse where people shop, where we have people working, and the store, and then the rest of the business.
I feel like I should have asked this a long time ago. What is a firewall?
Oh my gosh, there's so much to a firewall. I have found out. And actually, in true technical terms, what we are putting up is a fire partition. And it is a wall. It's literally, firewall. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, it's 2x4s and extra drywall or special drywall that creates a barrier for 2 hours is what they're asking for us on each side. So it will go all the way to the roof. It won't go through the roof. If it would go through our metal roof, it would be a firewall. But because it only goes to the roof, it's a partition.
Okay.
That's my knowledge on firewalls.
And so I venture a guess this separates if there's a fire on one side of the building or the other, it keeps it from spreading into that other space.
Yes, and that's one reason why we are, want to get that back one, because the most, I guess most dangerous things, baler that could, spark up, and those, machines and gasoline and propane for the forklift and things like that will be behind that wall.
Okay. So that doesn't sound like it should be that expensive. In fact, it sounds like it could be something you could do on your own.
Have you been to the warehouse?
I haven't. No. I mean, actually, I have. Yeah, I don't know why I said no. Yes, I have.
Ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
You should come out and see and look up.
Okay.
And it's 30 feet up to the peak, I believe, 28.
Right.
Maybe.
Okay.
And it's very long. And so you have to have, and then there are all sorts of specific specifications for the top of that firewall near the roof. That's what took 2 years for the architects to work out with the fire marshal.
Okay.
And all those details, I am not an expert on what they have to do, but it is a lot of labor.
Okay.
So that will cost us.
It's the labor that's going to get you, basically.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So is that firewall is probably priority one?
Correct.
Are there other things you're bidding out right now?
Yes, we'd like to. There are also several more fire exits, and then the exit lights and signage around the warehouse. In accordance with that, and that will also require some extra supports on each side of those doors. There are a couple of roll-up doors that will respond to fires, come down automatically. There are some other things. At least one other garage door, because we're shifting where we're doing our accepting donations with the new plan.
Okay.
So there'll be several of those that we're bidding out also.
Now, is all of this part of one large bid package, or will you do this in phases?
We're going to be doing it in phases. What I've been asking them now is that I would like a general overall, price for the entire project, which would include that front firewall also. But then also specifically for that back first piece that we would be able to, get the funding and together and to pay for currently.
Okay. Well, it's been quite a journey to this place. So I'm curious, let's talk about, instead of kind of going back to the inspection, we can revisit that here in a bit. Instead of going back to the inspection, what have you done up to this point? What are some of the things you've done to get to compliance in other areas at this point in time?
Well, first of all, we could do the easy things. We look at the things, like extra extension cords. They don't like those kind of things, so we took care of that. There was like a small exit light, something in the couple things in the store that they weren't, thrilled with that, so those just came down. That was easy, was able to be done, within a week or so. And then they wanted us to contact an architect, so we had to find that. Had to find the architects, and then we had to raise money because once the architects, they also wanted, big thing was an alarm system. And so luckily the architects were able to get the plan to the point where they could design. We could get the design to a alarm system company, and they could put together an alarm system for us. So we were able to do that last fall. So yeah.
All right. What did we decide on? This has been, what, a 2 year?
2 years.
2 years. Embarking on 2 years. Almost exactly, I think.
August.
Yeah.
2 years
in August. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure. So when it comes to all the things you've done, from architect works and their drawings and the just small things that you all can do, how much money do you think you've poured into this effort to this point? I mean, just a ballpark figure.
Ballpark 80,000. I would say. Yeah. The alarm system was around 65, 62 to 65. And then, and then probably, more. Well, no, it would be more than that if we include the architect fees. So, so closer to maybe 100.
Yeah, for sure. So when it comes to fundraising for this, what have you been able to do? How have you been able to approach that?
Last year we did a lot of grassroots. We did stuff in the store with some of those fundraisings. We've done Apple and Pork, which we'll be doing again. IGA, putting out to people that were looking for funding. We've got a lot of we've got some donations that way. I contracted or hired a grant writer, so I have grant writers that are part of my staff but live in Chicago, and so we're putting out letters to foundations every week, asking for money, and that is it's like a cold call kind of thing. You're sending them a letter and say, hey, with a letter talking about us with pictures. It's a really nice letter that we put together, and we send out to people and ask them for money. We write grants.
How's that going?
It's hard. It's a hard. Right now, things are hard with all the fundraising efforts and all the things that I'm seeing. It's just there are a lot of people asking. There's not as much money available. It's hard in an election year because people don't know where things are going. So it's been slower than I would like. Yeah.
Well, and you've got quite an expense coming your way once you get this firewall figured out and all the, you talk about emergency doors and a shifting of your garage and a garage door and all of that. So when it comes to getting, that's quite an endeavor, quite a number. I think you said it's 750,000.
Yeah, the first bid I've gotten for the whole project was right around, I think they said 715. So, but then, things are going to come up.
Yep,
so
sure,
I'm estimating
sure.
about.
Well, I mean, gosh, that's got to feel, like an impossible task.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does. It feels like, they're just, pressing down on us. I had someone the other day who was just like, wow, are they just trying to put you out of business? I was one of the contractors who actually works with, he comes and he works with other providers similar as us. They work with the group homes, some of the group homes that came into town the last few years. He builds for them and does a lot of projects.
It's got to be frustrating. You're funded by the state, and you've got a state agency at your door, literally pounding on your door.
Correct.
you've got to do this. This is nearly $1 million project. Gosh, that's got to be frustrating.
It is very frustrating. Yeah, I don't have our actual certificate. I can't put that on my wall because they won't give it to me because we have this fire marshal thing hanging over my door, even though the state comes in every year to look at our program. And every time I talk to them, you're doing great. Every year on a program, we get 99%. We always do great. They always talk about how excellent we are, but they are doing this and putting all this on us. So it's very frustrating when we don't have, we don't get funded enough to barely cover, we run the thrift store, we have other businesses. I have other grants like the DeWitt County Mental Health Board gives us funding to help run our programming that we couldn't do without their assistance. But yet the state is saying you have to spend $1 million ish.
And we're not going to help you.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a neglect of our most vulnerable, right?
Correct. Yeah. That's where I am. Get very passionate about it, and it feels like that we are just constantly putting down those people that don't have voices, and we have to speak for them. And so it's hard.
Yeah, when gosh, you said it, and I don't want to ask this, but I have to. Is it a possibility you can't do this and Encore goes away? I know. I'm sorry.
You're going to get me emotional.
I know. I'm sorry.
I hope with every ounce fiber of my being that we don't have to. Our services have been growing as of late. I'm fully staffed. We have space. I want to make more space. We want to have services and adapt and a change to our world. But yet, it's always that possibility. If I can't get this done, if we don't, and I feel I need more support to help get it done. So if anybody out there has information or has knowledge of building things, I just feel like I'm scrapping my way through, kind of clawing my way out of yet another dark hole. It feels like keeps coming up to.
Yeah,
us.
It feels like you've got nickels and dimes in the bucket of trying to collect, and you need 10s and 20s. So yeah, for sure, I can relate to that. Very good. Well, Stephanie, we'll talk about Apple and Pork. Of course, that's probably just a small effort in the overall grand scheme of things, but we'll talk about that when we come back. If folks are interested in just supporting Encore in all of this, how do they get a hold of you or someone at Encore and learn more?
You can give us a call, 217-935-2218, or you can go to our website at www.encoreservices.com.
Stephanie Coonce is Executive Director of Encore Developmental Services in studio with us this morning. More to come with Stephanie on The Morning Show.
WHOW.
Here's how Clinton Save-A-Lot store owner Dave Jackson is fighting inflation 2024.
I'm one of the only Save-A-Lots in the country that has stayed true to form. We are an everyday low-price retailer. Hard discount. We do not run ads. There's no gimmicks, no games, no drawings. I mean, it's just the truth. And when you come in my store, it's even keel. You just know the prices are fair. Am I the lowest on every item? Absolutely not. But we're very low and we're very fair.
As Dave always says,
hope to see you soon.
Not much happens at 2 in the morning, but sometimes, in the blink of an eye, everything happens. And when it does, you can count on Lincoln Memorial Hospital. From our 24-hour emergency room to our trained care teams and state-of-the-art facilities, LMH is where great care comes together for you, no matter what time it is. Learn more at memorial.health/LMH.
Pioneer brand Z Series soybeans have farmers yielding out an additional 2.7 bushels per acre over A Series. This has everyone talking, not just farmers. Case in point, a trucking company wrote, "Morning, noon, and night, it doesn't matter. I'm hauling Z Series. The phone doesn't stop ringing. Even my home number, it never stops ringing." Well, it's fair to say Pioneer brand Z Series soybeans are making quite an impact. Unleash your greatest harvest yet at pioneer.com/new era.
Rehab, recover, and return home when you or your loved one use the Bounce Back program at Liberty Village of Clinton. When you're not ready for a nursing home, their Bounce Back program is the answer. Click their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Simply the finest.
Healthy children make better students and stronger athletes. Be their advocate. Schedule their back-to-school physicals today at SIU Center for Family Medicine. Call 217-735-2317 now or click their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, Stephanie Coonce, Executive Director of Encore Developmental Services, in studio with us. And, you know, Stephanie, we talk here for this morning. I can't believe it. We're 2 weeks away from the Apple and Pork Festival. So how is Encore getting ready for Apple and Pork? Are y'all already, I guess?
Yes. We are preparing. I have been thrilled that one of my other directors, Ron, has been he is on it, and he has been, I'm like, what are you doing? He'd be coming in, a few weeks ago, and he's like, yeah, we got to get this, we need this, we need sugar, I need to order the lemons. How many cases do you think we need? How do we compare from last year? And I'm like, wait. And he's like, it's a month away, Steph. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yep.
So we have sugar, we have lemons ordered. So hopefully we will not be making too many runs on Saturday night to get more lemons from everywhere in the greater area.
You're sending one to Bloomington, one to Spring, or one to Decatur. Yeah,
We've
one to
had
Champaign. Yeah.
We've had to do that, making phone calls. Do you have cases of lemons? Clearing out Save-A-Lot and IGA. So hopefully we have enough ordered this year. Pounds of 25-pound bags of sugar. Figuring out, we have to get our ice has to be on site according to so that's the easiest piece, I guess, is to gather that. But who's going to pull that wagon of all that heavy ice? Getting the staff and volunteers together, getting tents set up, and what's going on over there. Apparently they're doing some sidewalk building right where our tent is.
Are they really?
Filling in. Yeah, or something. Doing something.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And they're filling in and putting seed down on some of the low spots, which that's good because we had some pretty significant low spots.
Oh, okay.
In front of our tent. That was, kind of a, could be a problem.
Sure.
So for people walking.
Yeah.
It's just a lot going on.
Yeah. Of course, you're doing lemon shake-ups.
Lemon shake-ups.
This is the third year?
Third year.
Yeah.
Lemon shake-ups and iced tea, sweet tea, however you want your tea, tea with lemon. So we have lots of that. So lemon shake-ups and the tea. And my staff is trying to convince me to buy this fancy machine. It's this big, I don't even know. It rolls the lemons around and cuts them and
juices them
and throws the rinds into a garbage can. So I don't know. That might be a little fancy for us.
Well,
but we'll see.
Yeah. Hey, anything to make it easier, right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Very good. Now, what has Apple and Pork typically brought in for the Encore?
Yeah, the last 2 years it's been great. We have gotten around $10,000 each year. It's been nonstop, and which was always surprising me. Sometimes we hear people, the price is a little high, but then we have lines clear to the to the, what is the building
Homestead.
called? The Homestead. Is that the house is called that? Okay, to the house.
Yeah.
And so, hey, if people will pay, $10 for a big old yummy. I've heard we have the best lemonade shake-ups, and they are really good. Hopefully we'll get the mix right again this year.
All right. Sure. And I'm sure that goes back into your efforts for the building.
That goes right towards our capital funds. Yes.
Yep, for sure. Very good. What's it take for Encore to do this? I mean, is it a lot of, do you ask your clients to help out? And is it an opportunity for them?
Yeah, clients and staff. I have one gentleman who has been asking me probably since April. Apple and Pork's coming up, Steph. Apple and Pork's coming up. Going to get out there. I'm going to volunteer. I'm going to, and then I help out. And that's great. And we have people roll the lemons prior to. We'll have people that week before cleaning out we have lots of coolers and making sure everything is all spick and span and ready to go. We'll have the crew out there, putting up the tent and the tables and getting stuff organized.
Great.
So,
great. Great, yeah, excellent. So it sounds like a lot of effort or a lot of hands on deck for this Encore. That's
Definitely.
great. Yeah, I know a lot of people struggle with volunteers for that weekend. So
Right.
yeah.
I was at my staff meeting. We had our thing about halfway full for volunteers, and last night at my staff meeting, we have 2 slots left.
Oh, very good.
So that's good. So luckily, my staff everyone's dedicated and understand our mission and what we're doing, and so they come out well. So I'm very pleased.
Fantastic. Well, Stephanie, I've got about a minute and a half with you this morning. Did I miss anything on Apple and Pork? Anything else going on at Encore you want to put out there for us?
Encore is always, the store is always going. It's been hopping lately. So yeah, I recommend people to come out and shop that 20,000 square foot warehouse. And there are always, this whole month, I believe our store manager has on Fridays, all the clothing is 99 cents.
All of it.
All of it.
Wow.
Except for the Encore swag. But all of the clothes, so you can come in 99 cents. And a lot of it, it's the shirt I have on, if you can see it in the camera. Already gotten 2 compliments on it today.
I was going to say, very festive it feels like. Yeah, very fall.
Yeah, so I got this there, and you can get a shirt like this for 99 cents. It's amazing, and sometimes you have to do a little bit of digging depending on how we are with staffing out in that warehouse. But it is a great place to get good bargains and good things.
Bring a $10 or $20 bill, and you can really...
And you can come out with a bag of stuff.
Absolutely. Very good. Well, Stephanie, how do folks learn more about Encore, all the things you've got going on? Where do they go? Who do they call?
You can go to our Facebook page, Encore Services, or Encore Thrift Store, or either of our websites, www.encorethriftstore.com or encoreservices.org.
That is Stephanie Coonce, Encore Services Director, our guest in studio here for this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. We stream live online all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com. Network news comes your way next on the morning show.